This is my colony of black garden ants, aka Lasius niger. And this is how they grew from just a single queen ant to a thriving colony. But for that we'll have to go back to last summer, where ants were active and nuptial flights were happening everywhere. If you don't know what a nuptial flight is, it's basically when infertile queens and males go out of their nest and mate with each other so new queens can start their own colonies. I managed to catch 5 of these pregnant queens, and I consider this day 1. All the queens seemed healthy, although within a couple days a couple died. Over the period of the next month, the queens laid eggs, the eggs hatched into larvae, and the larvae spun their cocoons. When I came back after another week or so, I saw this. Little moving workers, nanitics. 2 colonies managed to raise their first workers. They were very light brown in colour because their exoskeletons hadn't fully grown yet. I fed each colony a drop of sugar to make sure they had enough energy, since that queen had not eaten anything and had just relied on her own muscle reserves. The workers were still very inactive though, since they had only just woken up to this new world. About another week later, all the workers had hatched. There was no new brood yet, but if I needed to get more brood so they could get more workers, they were going to need some protein. So, got out my mealworm box and I began feeding some mealworms at around day 99. But it had become October. Temperatures were low and in the wild ants were going underground to hibernate. So I took my ants in the fridge for the next 5 months until March.
Now we play the waiting game. No, the waiting game sucks. Let's play Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Anyway, when I came back, I slowly rose up their temperature and the ants became active again. They were looking for food even though they were still a little bit chilly. They were hungry. I just love watching them just walk about. I don't even know what it is about them. They're just like, they're funny little guys, aren't they? Gave them their first drop of sugar. They weren't used to it, but they went in. And they shared the food with the other members of the colony to make sure everyone was well fed. But that's not all they need, so I got them back on the protein. Little chunk of mealworm here. And I'm surprised how much they actually wanted the protein. Like, the queen was desperate for it. She must have known that to get more workers, she was going to need some serious protein. But I left them undisturbed for a bit longer, and holy crap. What happened here? So much brood. Cocoons, eggs, young larvae, mature larvae. God, they had just become so strong. I was so proud of them. But I wanted to test them. So, got in my mealworm bin, grabbed a beetle, and let them feast. Workers tried desperately to pull off legs, pull off anything to try and make the beetle stop moving. Some even tried to spray formic acid on them. Until the beetle stopped moving. As I watched the ants munching on parts of the beetle, I've realised that this colony has finally completed founding. They were strong enough to easily take down moving prey. The queen has become an egg-laying machine, and the colony has finally reached a stage where I can say they'll become an empire of thousands, becoming an unstoppable force that may bring me and you years of fun watching them. I hope you've really enjoyed this video. I worked really hard on it, and if you haven't already liked and subbed, like and sub. And I'll see you in the next one.
How many times will they say I'm the smoothest? Truth is I never not moved this way. My trench coat leather, my shoes are suede. Beg you don't step on my Pumas.